This is going to be a brief video here where we're going to just use this new feature in 2012, what we call a data tier application. And really what we're doing here is kind of encapsulating a database into one file, and then we're going to move that maybe, let's say, to another server. We can keep copies of that very easily. And I'm just going to do a simple setup here. We're going to use the master database. I'll execute that. And we're going to create a login called sales app, all right, that we'll be using later. And then we're just going to create a simple, pretty much a blank database called sales. Of course, that's where, what we're going to do here in sales is going to be very easy. We're going to go and create a simple table. This will give us something just to work with, just to see in the database. We're going to make a user then in that database based upon that sales app login that we created earlier. And this is, of course, tied to the server because we have a server login that we're linking this account to. And I'll give some permissions here, grant, select, insert, update, delete to that sales app user. Now, what we'll see over here in my system is in the database area. Let me refresh this. And we should see the sales database now. It has a structure in there. It has the tables that we created, like the customers table and its columns and so on that we defined previously here in the script, all right, with the appropriate columns, identity columns, and so on. So now one of the things we want to do is just move this very, very easy. I can simply right-click on the sales database and go under Tasks and say, let's go ahead and extract a data tier application. Now, this pulls up a nice little wizard. All right, and the first thing you're going to do here, and this is a welcome screen, tells you basically what we're going to do. I'm not going to show this page again, just keep it simple, and click Next. And now what we're going to do is we're going to type in the name of the application, and in which case, obviously, it pulls up the name of the database, which may be fine, could be something else, and we can put in a version number. So we might have multiple versions of this file. We'll also give it a nice description. And then where we're going to save that location to. I'm going to put it here on my computer, on the D drive. I have a lab files folder. Call this right here. Put it in the starter. There's already a file there. All right. Let me delete that. And this is going to be a DAC package file, which has the .dacpac extension. I'm just going to call it sales, and that'll be fine. If there's an existing file, you can choose to overwrite it here. All right. This is what will be displayed in SQL Server Management Studio after it's been deployed. So I'm going to click the Next button. Gives me a brief summary, exactly what I just said previously, and then it builds the file. It's really that simple. It's actually quite easy. Once it's done and it's created this file, the next thing you do is go to another server, another instance of the server, somewhere else, and then you go and simply install this data tier application. And that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to go to my second SQL server. I'm going to look under databases. The sales is not there, obviously. And what I'm going to do is deploy a data tier application. And it's going to run the wizard again. Again, I'm not going to show this. And I'm going to say, oh, where is that package? All right, so I'm going to go my computer and choose that sales package that I created earlier. Click Next. Any properties, I can change the name if I want. I'm just going to leave it as sales. It's just fine. Gives me the summary. Next. Creates a deployment plan, verifies it, then deploys the database, and registers the metadata then for the database. This will take a few minutes to run, and then I'll have a copy of that database here on the other server. So this is a very brief video on simply using the data tier application. There'll be more to come, obviously. We'll show you why you might want to do some of this, some of the ways that this could be very handy for you to use as a SQL DBA.